The following is intended for mature audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.
We want thickness.
Hey, what's y'all's favorite podcast?
Thickness Protection Program!
Come and get down with the thickness. What up, protectors? You are now tuned into the Thickness Protection Program. This is the podcast celebrating body positivity for the adult content creator community. And if you don't already know, I am the Thickness Pro. Coming up next, right here, right now in the studio, I got a legendary BBW in the house, all the way from Stockton, California. Ruby Monroe is in the building.
Hey,
how you
Fran.
doing?
Cheers.
What's up, Fran?
Appreciate you having me.
Now, we ain't gonna act like we ain't been kicking it for like the last hour. We did a sweet ass little outer view on the way up here where you got to ask the questions, so that's coming soon. But for the folks watching live, man, make sure you like the video, share this live link with all your partners. Hey, if you like big girls, if you like underground rappers, hey, we got both right here, so
Yeah.
I am excited. Okay. Well, we are going to start with some of the basics. But first of all, I want you to know that you are kind of what I call a dense subject matter, where you've done like a couple other podcasts. Like you were on my man Kwame's YouTube channel. Did that infamous interview
Combos
with him.
Kwame?
Combos
Yeah,
with
cool.
Kwame. Yeah, shout out to him.
Shout out here, shout out New York, shout out Q baby. Too.
Shout out New York. Yeah, that guy got that thick. His New York accent's thicker than you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because tell me you drunk off beer without, tell.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, shout out to
New
you,
York.
brother. I respect what you're doing, man.
Yeah.
But so you were raised in Stockton, California, huh?
Yes. I was born and raised in Stockton. I like to consider where I'm from, even though we're city because we're from California. I like to consider us the country town of California.
Yeah.
It's a lot of cows and farmland and wineries, so it's like a real small town.
Okay, real small town. Okay, is that where you are? You're still residing? Still
Yes,
based
right
out?
now I'm actually on the verge of moving to either Vegas or Washington. I'm trying to flip a coin. I'm not sure which one yet.
See that? I got to connect you with Foxy Bach. She'll tell you all about Washington.
Yeah.
And then for Vegas, I mean, most of the protectors. There's so many people in the industry.
I want to
who are
go to
based out
Vegas.
there,
But
so
I'm just scared of getting into too much trouble out there.
I mean, you probably always flying in and out of Vegas.
Yeah,
so
it's
like
my second home for sure.
Yeah. So that would only make sense. Okay, so as a youngster, some of the shit you've seen growing up, I understand that you were, raised in a very Christian household, a very religious, strict environment. So tell me, did you feel like oppressed by, the things around you?
Like just sexually or just genuine as a child.
Well, more like, did you feel like, you couldn't be yourself because you were always afraid of breaking rules?
Oh yeah, I was raised by my father. My father was a very strong black God-fearing man. He was white glove strict. You know
Really?
what I'm saying? Yes, very. We were not just Christians, we were Jehovah's Witnesses. So Jehovah's Witnesses is extreme, like no birthdays, no holidays. Like we could even stand up to a Pledge of Allegiance because that was considered, an idol, like a flag. It's an item.
Wow.
So my dad was so strict, and I feel like even though it built character, now that I'm older, it gave me a lot of discipline, not being raised with the holidays and other worldly things. I felt like I've always felt like, what's the word you call them? Oppressed?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've always felt, I was always walking on eggshells. Like I always felt like, damn, like there was ways I wanted to express myself, but how I was raised, I was always scared to be I was always like that nervous, quiet kid, So yeah, for sure, I was most certainly. So when I got to a certain age, high school was when I was able to come out more, I guess, rebel and be like the real me. But I always felt that way since I was a kid, but I just knew it was like,
Always that nervous, quiet kid. Okay.
Yeah, I was like the nervous, quiet kid. I was a nerd. I wasn't real popular, because my dad was old school. Like I didn't have name brand shoes. I was the quiet little girl. I was mixed, and I was raised my black side. So my black side, I didn't know how to deal with my hair.
Right.
So I had the crazy hair, the crazy looking shoes. I was a quiet little nerdy kid. Like I was like the last one picked for volleyball or like Foursquare. You know what I mean?
Really?
Yeah.
So you're painting a good picture of Ruby as a youngster.
Yeah.
So how was your body type, growing up? I mean, like you said, until you had your first kid at 19, you didn't start thickening up. But were you always comfortable in your own skin no matter the weight, or did you face issues?
I was scrawny back then. I started getting boobs about 12 or 13. I was a C cup. But back then, this was before surgery. So the popular idols we looked up to were like Aaliyah, Christina Aguilera, Britney Spears. It was thin women back then. There was like flat chest. So even though I was thin compared to people on TV, I've always felt like big. You know what I mean? I always didn't really feel like, sexual. I had like a small frame, but I didn't know I was small because the people we looked up to on TV, I felt like I was big. You know what I mean? And I didn't start filling out my boobs until about 7th or 8th grade. That's when these came in out of nowhere.
And then you was the center of attention, yeah.
Yeah, and it was a time where I was like ashamed of them, because kids are mean. Like, like, damn, look at those titties.
Even me, like I told a girl who I'm actually still cool to this day.
I was ashamed of them.
I told a girl with some larger for a 5th grader than usual. We told some girl to go get some real ones. Believe me, we got in trouble for that.
Man,
kids are mean. Yeah,
you got holes in your shoes, your hair nappy. Oh man, like kids won't let you live nothing down.
No, for real. Okay, so some of the. At 18, I understand that's when you were kicked out of the house. Can you tell me, like, how that experience was?
Yeah, so basically, long story short, I was a very sheltered child. My father was a hardworking single father, so he worked 2 or 3 jobs. So at some point, when you raise your kids with discipline and spankings and fear, you can't really whip kids forever. Mm-hmm. So from age 14 to 18, when I was too big to whoop, my dad was always busy working. I was the bad kid cutting school. I was stealing. I was fighting, and I was gang banging. You're selling dope. I put my dad through so much shit. By the time I turned 18, I said, you know what? I'm tired of calling the police. I'm tired of your drama. I'm about to pray for you. You need to get the hell out of my house. And it was then when I realized, like, at first I was kind of happy. I was like, I'm tired of church. I'm tired of going. I was talking shit to my dad. I was very disrespectful, and he put me out at 18. So I was in the streets with my friends who I thought were my friends, and that's when I ended up meeting my daughter's father, who was an older man. I was 18, he was 34.
Really?
He was the original R. Kelly of Stockton, you know what I mean? So he's the one who really like turned me out onto, like orgies and swinging, because I was a child.
Was your daughter's father the one who turned you out to the game?
I guess you could say that. I was already like lightweight in the game because I was fast. I was gang banging in the girls.
Okay.
I was prostituting a little bit. I was like, I was in the streets. But when I really came in with my sexuality and being, who I was because of him, because he was into swinging. I didn't know about swinging. When you're 14 or 16, you're having sex, you're sneaking to your friend's mom's house and y'all fucking in the back of the car. But imagine being 18 in the house where everyone's butt naked, high off ecstasy pills. Whoa. There's weed. It's an orgy. That blew my mind as an 18-year-old. I'm like, this is lit. Like, you know what I mean? And I was the center of attention because I was the youngest, hottest thing there. So I feel like he really was what, like, turned up my sexuality for sure. Like, because guys in high school were eating pussy and shit back then. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there was, like, little quickies.
So you're like a kid dealing with a full-ass experienced grown man.
Just,
Yeah, because you're 34 years old now.
I'm 34 now.
Imagine, like, in reverse, like, you macking on an 18-year-old dude.
Yeah. If, it'd be the same thing. Yeah. I'm offering him drugs and alcohol and a good time. Like,
shit.
Of course you're going to do, So I was just like, this is cool. But now me looking back, I'm thinking, like, maybe that wasn't,
Yeah.
Maybe that wasn't cool, like, but at the time, it was like it was life-changing for me, because I was like, wow, because, I was raised in the church, and, I didn't know anything about that, an orgy. Wait, there's 2 girls? Like, what do you mean? Like, I was just, like, mind-blown by it. So, yeah, it was really,
So all of that shit was kind of like your coming-of-age experience.
Coming of age. So, for me coming to church and strictness to coming into, drugs and sex and just being lit, like, and freedom is the word. I had that freedom, you know what I mean? And I ain't turned back.
So like we said on the way here, like Stockton isn't really considered the Bay Area, but yet it's still Northern California. Yeah. And part of that culture is really the game, the pimping and hoeing.
Oh yeah.
I've asked like guests who come from there on this podcast about that. Can you speak a little bit to how, that is such a fabric in the culture? Like if you listen to Mac Dre, E40, like all of these artists who we love, they're all talking about the game. Like how does, growing up in this environment, like you are almost automatically like exposed to this level of street shit?
Yeah, of course. Like I said, like kids were sponges, and me at the time, I didn't, realize that. But just being around it, like like subconsciously, like in the back of your mind, you're already thinking it. But just seeing it in your peers and your elders is doing it and just putting it in you and the music and everything around you, it's like it was contagious. It was like I can't explain it. It was like so contagious to where you did it and then it's easy. It's like, like if you're doing a lick or a robbery, it's something comes when you do it and you're like, and you get your first taste. It's like your first taste of pussy. You're like, wait a minute, you're younger, like you watch porn, you fantasize, you thought about it, but your first piece of ass, you're like, this this is great. All I had to tell her was she was cute and like, I don't know.
Early on, did you ever
see
porn on the internet or in a magazine and think like, oh, I'm going to be doing that one day?
I didn't think that, but Dad, please don't be mad. So this is back then before the internet. We had nudie magazines. So my father had nudie magazines, and he would like keep them in the worst places, under the bathroom seat, in particularly. So when I was younger, like we used to go in the bathroom and like look at the magazines, and I couldn't really explain like the emotions that went through when I was looking at it. But I was like, I don't know if I said I wanted to do it, but I'm like this is all right. Like it was different to me, and I didn't really like understand like this hustler and the girls are spread on the couch with their little, what I'm saying, like with their shit open. So yeah, like when I seen it, like I was just like drawn to it, but I don't think it's something. I don't think I ever woke up one day and was like, I'm about to be a porn star model. Like this just came like throughout the years on what we're finna get into. But no.
There's a story I've never told on this podcast before, but the reason I think I like BBWs and big women and all that, plus size women, is because when I was about 12 or 13, I used to like take my mom's Lane Bryant catalogs and then flip through them. I wasn't wanking into them at the time, but like one day
you didn't understand. I like it.
One day I was chilling upstairs and my dad walks in, and then I forget if I was playing the game or watching TV, but I slid the magazine right under the couch, and then he saw like top of it, he picks it up, and I'm like, knowing that he has it in his hand, but I'm like looking at the TV. I'm like, hey, what's that?
Because you're like, a kid, like you don't understand.
He takes it. He's like, bops me on the head with it and goes, "Go in the fucking bathroom, boy."
Oh my god, yeah. Like you said, magazine. You're a kid, like you're like that's why it's so fucked up now because of technology. But books and magazines, like your imagination as a kid just ran.
It was Lane Bryant catalogs that I was like first seeing women in their like bra and panties.
That was top tier, you know. And this is before YouTube and Google,
No doubt. Okay. So, being black and Puerto Rican, I understand you identify as black. That's your heart and soul. Where was mom's in the picture?
It's funny about that. I don't get asked that a lot. Unfortunately, my mother had me at 16. She was on drugs and had mental health issues. Okay. So my father took custody of me when I was 2. My brother was 8 months. So I don't have no memory of her, nothing. And I think that kind of, I think I met her when I was about 14 or 15, but it's like meeting her. I'm not angry and I forgive her, but that's kind of like a hard subject for me because it's like being around a stranger. I'm not upset, but I have no emotional connection when I see her. When I see her, I just refer to her as her first name. It's like, oh, hi, But I have no anger or hate towards her because looking back, me being like, I get it. You're 16, you're a child. And then my mother had 7 biological children who were all took into the system. So I'm grateful that my father took her to the plate and took me and my brother. You know what I mean? But I have no hate towards her. I think the only thing that's frustrating for me and her is I had to teach myself to be a woman. Like when I started my period, I had a crush on a boy, because my dad's a man. I can't talk to my dad about, bleeding or me liking boys. Like, hell, give me a whooping,
So there was no woman figure you could have looked out, no auntie, no person at school, no coach or anything. No,
like that? I feel like I had to like raise myself as far as my father raised me with discipline and respect, and I always respected him. Like, at the time I was mad, I thought he was mean or strict, and which But now me looking back, I was raised with, but I don't have I don't have a nurturing or loving bone in my body really. If I did have to have any, because he was married 5 times, he had I had a lot of stepmoms, but they didn't really care for me. I was just if I had to give credit to any woman figure, it would be my grandmother, which is my father's mother, my grandma, and 3 of my aunties. Like they helped me with they taught me somewhat what they could on how to dress and hygiene and things like that. As much as they could. Like I said, my father was strict. We were closed off. But for the most part, I didn't really have a mother figure growing up. It was just me. You know what I mean?
I understand. Okay, so do you feel like you've had to work hard to be a good mom of 2 with no mom example?
I'm actually that's one of my struggles right now. While I was on the verge of retirement because I'm struggling with my oldest daughter right now. Because she's going through the same thing I'm going through. Like
she's in her teens, right?
Me being the single parent, and she's rebelling and being a little asshole right now. You know what I mean? She's actually in a juvenile hall right now because she's, in gangs and stuff. Yeah, so it's unfortunate I'm going through her. And there's, but me being where she was at, I feel she has an advantage than I have for me to reason with her. So I hope one day she'll listen. Right now she's not. But I hope that one day that I can actually break through to her because, it's a generation thing sometimes. So, you know what I mean? So maybe it's my karma. For my dad, so I'm sorry, Dad. I know your pain now, but I feel like even if I did have a mom, I feel like there is no manual on parenting. That's what I learned because my father raised me strict by the book, and look how I turned out. I'm still sexual, whatever. My daughter, my kids, I'm more the laid back. I'm like the cool mom. I'm, like the cool
I'm not a
friend.
regular mom. I'm a cool mom.
I'm a cool mom. Like
Yeah.
I don't really spank my children, because I have a strong voice. I'm more of a yeller. If I yell at my kids, they'll break down in tears. You know what I mean? I'm not really a hitter. I don't have to spank my children, and they have some type of a fear of my voice. And my daughter still turned out the way I was, being bad. So you know what I mean, or bad-ish. So with that being said, to answer your question, I didn't have a mom or a father figure, so I'm still trying to figure it out right now. Yeah.
I want to commend you just, for remaining strong. And like, I've always, a question that always hits my mind when I get the parents on here is like, how do you balance, this type of career with, raising kids?
That's the $1 million question. And I dealt with that. I dealt with that. People say, well, what if your kids see your porn? And I thought people were just being assholes. But, for a little while, my daughter was being bullied behind it. And that was a big thing I went through.
Wow.
She would argue with kids because I'll show you a picture. She's a very pretty young lady. And the neighborhood boy liked her. Mm-hmm. So she got in a couple fights behind the girls, fighting over him. And they can't really call her ugly or bald-headed or really, talk about her. So I don't know how they found out, little shits. They found out I did porn. And they were like teasing her, like sending her screenshots. I was going through shit like that. Yeah. So that was like the biggest, I think like that was like the hardest thing I went through in my career. Like me after having to deal with that. And I really don't have an answer for it. It's like a real shitty feeling. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna lie. Like I feel like a real scumbag when she had to experience that. But in my mom thinking they're fucking 12. Out of all the bitches y'all could have watched, y'all want to watch me. But I live in a small town, so I know their parents probably went to school with me. Like people talking. And
in a way, it's almost a testament to how poppin' you are, but at the same time, in a small town, And I don't really know about living in a small town, other than when I was at Hampton. But
it's like back in the day, like they call your mom a crackhead. If your mom was a crackhead in the 90s, you never lived it down.
So I lived in LA my whole life, but this is a big small town.
Mom's a porn star, so like she went through that for she got about 6 fights behind that.
Wow.
And got to the point where I had to get us both in counseling. I had to really sit down and explain to her, my traumas and why I chose that, and to let her know that you can't get upset every time a kid says that. You're gonna have to learn a way to go around that, because at the end of the day, that is what I do, and I'm sorry if I embarrass you, but you know what I mean. Like this is this is where I've come to, and this is what supports our household. This is why you live better than half them hoes talking about you. It's 5, 6 little bitches living in on air mattresses in a 1-bedroom. You got your own room, a 40-inch flat screen. You got the newest iPhone, like the newest clothes, the newest shoes. You're not being abused. Like you live in a good, comfortable setting. And half them hoes talking about you is miserable. Like they grew up how I grew up. You know what I'm saying? Poor. Like so. That's the only thing that's the light at the end of the tunnel that I try to focus on with her, because there's no way around.
Yeah, it's porn. Like you're doing this so your kids can live better,
Yeah, like
you had to explain, hey, this is what puts clothes on your back, food on the table, roof over the head,
Yeah, and I just, it's just a lot. I can't really explain it. It's like a thing. It's like I can't really explain it. It's like doing something and then someone getting caught, I don't know, maybe cheating or smoking crack. I don't know, like something that's fucked up and is outlandish, or getting caught watching animal porn. And you can never live that down. So I feel about this. It's like the awkward. It's like an awkward moment of silence where you just have to say, all right, fuck it. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. The bees and the what's that called, the bees and the birds.
Birds and the bees.
Yeah, that is okay, mama. You're at this age now. She was 12 or 13. You know what I mean? So I'm like, fuck it. This is what it is. And then she understood. You know what I mean? And then she got in 2 more fights after that, because she was like, I don't give a fuck. You're my mama. I'm about to fight him anyway.
Yeah.
And now she kind of claps back, like fuck y'all. You know what I mean?
Shout out to you, Ruby Jr. Free young
little
Ruby.
Little Ruby right now. She's holding it down right now.
Free little Ruby.
My little crazy baby.
My God. Okay. One more thing from your early days. I understand that you had to work as a prostitute, which meant being out there on the blade. Tell me about that experience.
Like I said, I think hoeing now is comfortable and it's fashionable. It's okay. But I was hoeing before it was okay and fashionable. I was hoeing before then. I was walking the blade. And long story short, I was going to juvenile because I was gangbanger. I was so dope. So I'm always in there with other bad kids. And making long story short, I'm in there bragging about gangbanging and how I fought this person, stabbed this person. I'm glorifying gangbanging. And I was in there with prostitutes. And I'm not gonna say the names on here, but I'm still friends to this day. And they're like, gangbanging? How much money you can get off that? I'm like, oh, nothing, but I'm down. I'm
down,
gang,
whoop, whoop.
yeah, blood. Nightingale 21. I'm all that. And they're like, we hoes, we get money, bitch, and they're glorifying prostituting. I'm like, and at the time, I'm like, oh, that's gross. You guys are gonna get AIDS, and I was, Then I went home and one day I thought about it, because I was always running away, and I had like $2 in lip gloss. And I remember just sitting, because I remember like my dad, if I was in a certain time, he would lock me out. This was my senior year in high school. I remember sitting there broke with $2 one day, and I'm like, man, fuck this. So at the time, I had my best friend of 8 years at the time, the white girl, and we was like, fuck it, bitch. And where I'm from, the blade's called Wilson Way. So we went to Wilson, and I remember making my first 500. When you're a kid, like,
$500 is a lot of money.
$500 is hella money.
Yeah.
The next day, man, we got phones. We went to the mall. We had a ball, and you know what I mean. But I was still, like embarrassed to buy it. So I was still a gangster. So I would like act like I was still selling dope. So I would always buy like small amounts of crack to keep on me, to act like I was on the block. But I was really selling pussy, like, you know what I mean? And about that, I think it built a lot of me. I went through it. Like, a lot of people glorify the good side of it. Of course, you get thousands of dollars, you travel and have fun, but nobody talks about when you're raped or robbed or the pimps. So in my situation, I refer to him as a Jeffrey Dahmer. I ran into a crazy motherfucker that basically kidnapped me, tied me up, took me to a cemetery for 2 hours, and was preaching the gospel. And in between him doing this, when he was done doing what he was doing, he told me, and it's weird because I believe him now. He said, you know what? He explained to me that he was sent from God. He was a descendant to cleanse the souls of women and to save souls. And in some weird, twisted way, it worked. Because I was like, man, fuck this. I stopped hoeing. I got to be a job at McDonald's. I was like, I'm done.
Wow.
But
what age was this?
I was, I just had my daughter at 19, so I was about 20. I was about 20 years old. I was down on my luck. I was with my baby daddy. Not to downplay him, but like, we both weren't working at the time, so we were like on some bum shit, you know what I mean? And we wanted some dish soap and diapers, little shit like that. So like, he wasn't happy that I did it, but he let me go do it. So I went out to the Blade, to go do that. And you know how you get that feeling, like, don't do it? Because it got to look a little sketchy, but and I got in the car with him, and they say when you're in a life or death situation, you fight, flee, or freeze. And in that instance, me, big gangster, I froze. I can't explain, like, it was this chill that went through my spine, my whole body. I was just stuck. I was like, man, take the pussy, bro. It's cool. Like, and I didn't do anything. And he raped me for 2 hours, and that's when he was telling me, like, this is what he does. And, in some weird way it worked, but in the back of my mind, I was always sexual. I was always promiscuous. I like to fuck. I like, so, years later, when I met, I was friends with my tattoo artist. I was open up about my sexuality and things, and he's the one that told me to do porn. And that's what I thought about. I'm like, it's the same thing, but it's legal, we're tested, and all that. So that's how I chose porn. But prostitution, if anybody out there doing it, mama, get y'all money. I'm not mad, I'm not knocking y'all. I don't care how much game y'all think y'all got. You're still technically getting in the car or opening the door for a stranger. You don't know what that motherfucker got in their bag. I don't care how good you screen your calls. There's gonna be that 1 in a million chance where you can lose your life. So that's what you're doing. Like, that's cool, but I don't really, really still want to, like, be in that category. I feel porn is safer, because it's, because we get tested, like, we're flown out, like, the talents that you're dealing with. So I feel like if you're in the game now, like, if that's what you do, mama, go ahead. But just remember, be ready, because it's gonna be that one motherfucker, one time. Like, you never know.
Yeah, one time with one bad person is all it takes.
Like Jeffrey Dahmer, look, if you watch this doc, he was a cool,
I watched
handsome
the whole
looking
Netflix
man.
thing. Yeah.
And he got away with it for years.
Before that documentary came out, I used to call these glasses the Dahmers.
Yep.
I don't like these.
Like, people, like, even gangbanging or doing licks, no matter what you do, like, you might do that one robbery where it's an undercover cop, or you might, do that one drill gangbanging where you get shot. Like, whatever you're taking a risk with, just know it's going to be that one day where you meet your maker. And unfortunately, I met mine. So this is why I do porn.
Well, I wanted to ask you, being a part of the lifestyle, dealing with a pimp, is that something that's been... Have you encountered that before?
I never had
Pass
a pimp.
me the ice, by the way.
I was more what they call, I guess, a renegade or a faggot.
Yeah.
Oh,
you can't say that on YouTube. But
I'm sorry. Yeah. Well,
yeah, but go on. I feel you. Yeah.
So I was a renegade, so I didn't have folks. I think I chose up one time with somebody, but I really can't get into that story now. And it worked out for a couple of months, but just the way I was, like, being raised by a man, I have a lot of people tell me I have men tendencies, so it was more as bumping heads and domestic. It was more of us fighting than getting money, so it didn't work out for me. But I think as far as people in the game, I think it does work better with a pimp, though. Like, the things that I went through being raped, I feel like if I had a pimp that night, I probably could have got, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
In those stories. I think if you are in the game, I do feel like girls need instructions to ism.
Listen, me being a complete and total square and not claiming to be anything other than that, but being a student of the game and somebody who has looked up to and studied ism to a T, is like, oh, you want more? Yep. But yeah, me, being a fan of that culture and, taking all of that in for really what it is like, if you're going to partake in that lifestyle, you do need
right.
somebody who's going to provide you with structure, to be that security. A lot of these people, similar to you, are coming from broken homes, abusive situations,
no
foster care, no father, et cetera. For a man to, play that big brother or close friend,
right.
Husband like role,
of course,
is like, to trust that man with your money is like, I completely understand it.
Just anything, even if you're working 9 to 5, you have a supervisor and a manager, right?
Right.
Exactly. I feel if I would have had a pimp that night, I would have read the signs that I ignored to get, because I was so thirsty for that at the time. $90. I ain't gonna lie, it was a $90. That $90 changed my whole life, and it was where he still paid me. He dropped me off, and gave me a little good speech and prayed over me. I'm like, what the fuck? I was just happy to get out the car. But yeah, I feel like, if you're in the game, you need instruction. Even when instruction, what happened to me can happen, y'all. Don't think, you know what I mean? Like, it can happen to any one of y'all. Just like
from the game to the industry, do you see like a similar structure where like, okay, you might have like performers who are, signed to an agency or signed to like doing content for one studio, or they're, doing services in a certain way that resembles pimping and hoeing?
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure that. But yeah, a cleaner version. But yeah, somewhat in a sense, yeah, for sure.
Okay, cleaner version. Okay, so your first scene was a boy-girl threesome, and you said you tried to play it cool, tried to play it poker face, but really you were freaked out of your mind. I mean, that's a lot, man, to be trying to have sex with two men at the same time. Mm-hmm. So like, tell me about what was going through your mind with that, and then how do you think you've grown in scenes since then? Because how long have you been in porn?
2018.
2018.
Yeah,
okay.
So I don't know.
So you've been around for a minute.
Yeah, for shit. I think, you know what I mean? Because like I said, I called non-porn stars civilians. And in the civilian community, it's okay for a man to have sex with two women. It's a threesome. He's the man. He's cool. But if a woman has sex with two men, it's considered a train. So somewhere in the back of my mind, I don't know where the idea came from, I've always wanted to have sex with two men. Like, there's times where I've been in situations where either I was not really dating, but hanging out with a guy and his friend looked good. And I'm like, damn, I want to fuck. Like, but you really can't say that because it's unladylike. So I never really had like the opportunity like to live that out. So when I have the opportunity out there, I'm like, this is fucking gold. For one, I'm getting paid, and then for two, I've always wanted to do this, but I couldn't really say it because I was like, shy. I've always had a thing of like, now I'm free and outspoken, but there was a time in my life where I was always sheltered and felt like I couldn't, express myself. So around that time, I was very nervous. I was scared, but like doing it was cool. I think the only thing that made me nervous was I don't know about the. What's that called? Like the ratio of doing. I didn't know which one, like how to make it fair.
You look like that dance that Donald Trump does.
And so they had to keep giving me like head taps. Like, all right, bitch, like they're giving me head taps and cues. So yeah,
cues to like switch to sucking the other one.
But, oh my god, like I loved it. Like now, like I liked it a lot.
Yeah. Can I say one thing? When you did the interview with Quabi Conversations and he pulled the dildo out, that was the zestiest shit I've ever seen when the nigga kept grabbing the fucking dildo. And I'm like, dog, you want to be a hard-ass New Yorker, but nigga, you are touching a fucking dick-shaped object, homie. That shit was funny.
Yeah,
and then I love how you were like, the sex ed instructor at that point,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was lit.
That was very funny.
I'm married. I know how to, I wouldn't say chameleon, but I guess I know how to like mold into the situations.
Right.
Without
yeah, you know how to adapt quickly.
Yeah. I'm like, oh my god. Like, oh, friend.
Okay, cool. Yeah, friend. So on the way up here, you kind of told me about this, but like, what type of porn do you watch in your personal?
Oh, not my category. Okay, y'all. So my little kinky fetish when I'm by myself at 2 a.m. in the corner of shame. No one's looking.
2 a.m. in the corner of shame.
I call it the corner of shame. My corner of shame category is I don't know how to. God damn it. Female cartoon anime porn. I like chicks with dicks. I like the woman. I like the cartoon characters that look like women. They got the makeup, the boobs, the body, but they have a very large penis. And I think the reason for this is because I can't take anal, but I'm obsessed with anal. And I like to watch anal porn, but since I do porn, I can tell when it's acting or it's off. I'm over human porn. Because I do porn. It's like you doing music and then hearing like the person was trying to rap every time they see you, like, bruh, I get it. Or you being a chef and you are kind of over just, you know what I'm saying, like watching people cook. And that's how I kind of feel about porn. So I like the anime. It's dramatic. I don't like music in the background, so I like the sound only. Is that a category for that? But I hate porn music. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
I don't-
Bound chicka wow
Yeah,
wow.
if I hear any music, I'm going dry. I'm turning it off.
Although I think Clint works from Plumper Pass. Before he started Sensational Video, he was running a record label.
You
So
said
like
that.
the instrumentals that he picks for the
Yes,
Plumper
that's
Pass
what I
scenes
mean.
are
I
pretty dope.
hate
Though.
music. If you put on
Okay.
porn with music or a condom, you might as well just
I like the preview with
go
music,
home.
but not the.
I like just the sound of
Yeah.
the I love the sound, and I love female anime transgender porn. I don't know, is that a whole thing? Like in my search history, it says female cartoon, and they all pop up.
Yeah, mine probably says
I love that
BBW MILF.
That's actually my
BBC.
dream. Not my dream, but on my bucket list, I do want to shoot like with a TS talent. That's my.
Okay.
I want to have a threesome with me, a TS, and a man. Us both having like a dick suck off or something. I don't know. But
A guy and a chick with a dick. Fuck
Oh
you.
my
Okay.
god, I was just.
Yeah, a girl's penis in your mouth, and then a dude like hitting it missionary.
Yeah, like
Okay.
just the whole thing.
dig
So,
it.
but if anybody want to sign up, hit my DM.
Let me
because I really
ask you
want that.
this: as a black woman who is with big titties, but
Mm-hmm.
like as you call it, not much ass. I think you got like decent booty, but like how do you feel about because brothers like the ass, but like me, I'm both. I'd be like tits to look at, ass to feel, but they're both beautiful things made by God. But if I had to, I ain't a sucker for shit. But if I had to be a sucker for one thing, it's for some titties.
That's
so
right.
it's like. How do you feel about when the culture favors butts, but you got big boobs?
For a while, I was insecure and felt like kind of bad about that. Like there's a term around from the Bay Area, they call it no ass, no pass. And I used to hear that so many times. Guys look like they be like, hey, little mama, I ain't gonna lie, you pretty, you fine, but you ain't got no ass, baby. I can't, you know what I mean? And it was a time I was insecure and upset about that. But now that I'm older, I learned to like what I'm working with. You know what I mean? Because I feel like, it is what it is. So it doesn't bother me anymore when, you know what I mean? I don't wear girdles. I don't wear waist trainers, motherfucker. This is exactly what you get or don't get. I'm not wearing those little butt draws or getting surgery. I mean, I would like a surgery if I can afford it.
Because like embracing the fact that I love fat
yeah.
women is like, and love big titties is like the fact that like, do you ever have clients who do escorting with you who like one of their main like fetishes or kinks is that they just want to like lay there
Cuddle?
and lay your head and cuddle?
You know what's funny?
and
9 out
snuggle
of
with
10,
you?
like when I do fan meets, like I just had one this morning. A fan meet or just people coming in on comments or just what I learned I made the most money off of OnlyFans, titty fuck. I have men want to caress me, but I don't know if that answers your question. But a lot of people, titty fuck is like the bee's knees. Like, you know what I mean? I can't explain. Like when it comes to like, because
Titty fucking, yeah.
I have this trick called the Ruby bomb, where I know how to make my shit clap like ass cheeks.
Stole
like,
the question off my page. Come on.
Oh damn, yeah. So I have
Ruby
this.
bomb.
I have this special move called the Ruby bomb, and I know how to make my boobs look, feel, and sound like ass cheeks.
I think we might have to add a new segment to Thickness Protection Program. What is your special move?
You got a cucumber?
Yeah, the Ruby Bomb. Okay, yeah.
The Ruby bomb is my specialty. So yeah, like titty fucking, like titties all day.
Okay. Now, to the viewer, to the client, what have you, what type of fantasy do you think you provide?
Damn. Let me think about that. That's a fantasy I think I provide is well, a lot of people think I'm Latina. That's what everything it says on one of my headlines. Yeah. So I just think I provide that Latina, Hispanic, just busty, fantasy for I don't know. I guess men who like busty Latinas. I think like that's a fantasy I provide, like the sexy tamale lady or something. I don't know.
That's interesting because from the jump, it's like I always knew you were black. I would consider you black, but I also like she's part Latina. She's part Latina too. Like, but
I'm really liking Latina.
Yeah, but I always like she probably mixed with Latino, but she black.
But people who don't but I always
even without me knowing that,
people think I'm like Islanders, some type of Hawaiian or Samoan or something, or Hispanic. Not too, unless you hear me speak, obviously. But if you don't hear me speak, you just look at me. A lot of people think I'm Mexican. Even when I worked in fast food McDonald's,
I can say that.
Customers will pull up to the drive-thru talking, uno
poquito, pero Big Mac y papas.
I'm thinking like, what the. And they're looking at me like, you stupid? I'm like, motherfucker, I just look like this. Like, and it's frustrating, but,
Say, I'm a nigga.
Yeah, I'm black. We together. Nobody trusts me like to make the potato salad or nothing. Like, look, I know I look like this, but I can cook, but as soon as, it took me years because my day job as a chef to prove, my
And I want to talk about that too before I lose
again.
track. Your day job is as a chef, okay?
I'm a chef.
How long has this been going on for?
Since COVID.
Okay.
My father is a very popular black known chef. He's known in town as his nickname is Chicken Man. So you know each town has like the barbecue guy, the guy that's known with the chef hat and the little sandals barbecue on the corner. That's my father, and he owned 2 restaurants. So food was always in me since I was a kid. But you know, since I've always hated it because I was just something that when your parents do stuff and they put it on you, like you don't know you like it or are good at it till you're older. You know what I mean? So I was always in the kitchen.
So cooking's in your blood. Okay.
Yeah. All my jobs were food related. Like I worked for McDonald's, the school district, hospitals, whatever, even to now. So when I really got in tune with my talents was during COVID, everything shut down. So I started an Instagram. I have a second Instagram page and where I do weekly, food sales. And when I did that is when I started realizing I'm kind of good at this, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I think during COVID is when I really expanded my chef skills. Because I had no choice. Everything was closed.
So what's your specialty meal of choice, or what are things that you like to cook?
My top 3 sellers, me personally, I like my crab boils and my Spanish rice.
Okay.
But my, there's a few things. But my top 3 sellers that have been requested throughout the years of trial and error, my number 1 is my enchiladas. Okay. My number 2 is my Spanish rice. And then my third one that people always request, I'm like, tamales. But I don't like making tamales because it's too much work. Them corn husks and the masa and the rolling them and the steaming. It's like a 2-day process.
Really?
Yeah, like tamales are a lot. So now, shout out to all the tamale ladies, girl. I love y'all because it's a lot.
Okay. So those are you said those was the specialty, or like
those are my top 3 sellers. Yeah,
And then what's your personal favorite?
My personal favorite if I'm at home, just me and my kids, my go-to meal is anything smothered. I'm like really good with I call them mom meals. You know what I mean? So my favorite mom meals every day is something in the crock pot, which is smothered meat and gravy, because you can take any cut of meat and make your gravy, or a king of mushrooms soup, or cream of chicken. It cooks all day. And all you got to do when you get off work is make a pot of rice. So crock pot meals, I'm the fucking goat. Like you wouldn't be able to believe me if I told you I made this meal with a can of soup, a half an onion, and a cut of meat. I swear to God, like, you would not be able to know. But that and my tacos and Spanish rice. My Spanish rice is untouchable.
You got to do a taco Tuesday.
It's weird because I was raised my black side, so maybe that's something that my mom gave me, through birth. Like I have no idea how to make
that's in your
food.
Blood too, maybe.
Yeah, because I was never around my
Hispanic
mom. I was raised on black food, chicken and collard greens and stuff like that.
Cheese, yams.
So I have no idea where this Mexican talent came from. Like I swear to God, it just came to me one day. I started cooking. I was like,
except your mom's Puerto Rican though, right?
She's technically Puerto Rican and Spaniard, but that's same difference. Yeah. To me,
I feel it.
Yeah,
I feel it. Yeah, when you talked about
it was in me. I'm like, I'm kind of good at this.
In the crock pot, because my mom's specialty chicken that she learned the recipe from Paula Deen. I'm like, that's not a shout out. It's actually fuck Paula Deen because she says some racist shit. So Maria, my lovely mother's specialty chicken is like you take a chicken breast, you take a chicken breast,
crock pot?
And then it's like you put like you say cream of mushroom soup, you put white wine, and you put like some Swiss cheese on it, and you put like breadcrumbs. It's so bomb.
Bacon in the oven?
So juicy. Yep, bacon in the oven.
Shout out moms.
Shout out moms.
I call those mom meals.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And it's on point when you pull
mom
it out of the
smack.
oven. But like the next day, it's going to be even more on point.
Those mom meals, when you're a parent, you got a family to feed. Like mom meals are the best. I don't even fucking know.
Yeah, and that's like, if you come over for the holidays, that's
hamburger
like
helper, like those simple, comforting meals are the best.
Only home cooking meals. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. I wanted to know about the 666 thing. Growing up in a religious household, but you also understand some of the things with like Satanism. Right. And me personally, I'm a big fan of like Suicide Boys, 3-6 Mafia, and like hip hop that uses this devil symbolism.
Right.
I got
the all CNI right here if I can see it.
Oh, dope. That's on the dollar, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I wanted to know, like, are you on that kind of like dark wave? Not well. If you do.
Yes, I love Satan.
double shit.
Shout out Marilyn Manson. Like I said, to answer that, I don't really have a solid answer for that. But what I can give you is this. I was raised in a very strict household. I'm talking about when I was a kid, everything I did wrong, you're going to burn in hell in eternity, and God doesn't like this, pray for forgiveness. And even when I came out as a kid for childhood traumas, instead of people listening to me or heed what I was saying, they just went to the Bible. Oh, how do you know what sex is or what this is? And I was always like I can't explain it. So I originally started doing it to troll Christians. I originally did it because I realized it pissed people off.
Yeah.
And there's nothing that I enjoy more today than pitching on Christians. I'm sorry, no disrespect, but
Because Christians are probably the ones in your
they're
DMs
the
talking
main
about
ones.
shit.
Like even before I did porn when I was a child, I remember I would wear my hair down. Oh, that's fast. You're a Jezebel and you're trying to attract men. Like my hair's down. If my skirt wasn't a certain length, I'm telling you, like I feel like Christians trolled me my whole life. I've always felt trolled. Anything I did was even I wasn't like wearing clear lip gloss. So when I got to it, I originally did it. I forgot what I did. I bought it was like a Ouija board or something, and I noticed my views went up. So I'm like, wait a minute. You worship the devil and people are on my inbox. You love Donald Trump. And so make a long story short, I think I did it. I love trolling Christians. I originally started that Satan shit to troll. And then I realized, man, my sales go up like Jay-Z and Beyonce. I don't know if they're probably the Illuminati or not, but their sales go up. Every time you think a person worships the devil, I don't care who it is. Like, come on, you know what I mean? Like they go viral. Lady Gaga, like, you know what I'm saying? Like it was.
Because you rap. So I was kind of thinking, you know, are you on that same like wave as a Gangsta Boo who's kind of on that like dark shit? Rest in peace to her.
So to answer the question, I originally did it to troll.
Yeah.
But in the midst of me trolling, when I actually read the Satanic Bible and I was reading into it, I was like, this really ain't too bad.
Because I think, A&R Palm talking, I think that could be a really good look for you if you kind of rode that wave of like.
Yeah, so now I'm more into it. Yeah, you know what I mean? Now I kind of feel, according to the Bible, for being fair here, because I feel like Christians like to pick and choose which parts of the Bible. If you want to read the whole Bible, and just not the parts that you feel is going to make your point valid, technically in the Bible, and I'll give you $1,000 right now if you could prove me wrong. Cause I got $1,000. I showed it to you. So let me.
I ain't lying. I ain't hesitating.
I'll give you $1,000 right now.
Fuck me. This is the most embarrassing shit.
See, I was saying, let's talk about him. See that right there? Look, he in here. I'll give you $1,000 right now. I'll give any Christian $1,000. You can pick out any part of the Bible where it says Satan committed one murder.
Yeah.
But God's committed millions of murders.
Okay.
So with that being said, I don't think Satan was really bad as they say he is. He was disobedient and he spoke up for equal rights.
Yeah.
But there's not one story in the Bible. Will you agree that he's literally murdered someone or did something fucked up? And they said the devil made me do it, or he whispered in my ear, or he talks to people because he's a slick talker. But there's not one story in the Bible of him murdering anybody. But there's thousands of stories of God murdering people, like from the plagues to Armageddon to whatever. You know what I'm saying? There's not one story of Satan literally killing anybody. So as far as I'm concerned, I don't think the devil is as bad as people say. So I'm just going to, is that an answer?
I mean, I've heard stories about like how in the Bible, because remember I told you I'm not a big Bible reader, but like I've heard stories about like, Satan was kind of like the choir director, if you will. Like,
he was beautiful.
Yeah, he
was not the guy with the horns that people say. Satan is everything beautiful. Women, titties, cocaine. Satan is he's the angel of light. Like he was God's prettiest angel, so he got big headed. If you really want to go into the Bible, but I'll give anybody $1,000. Send me on Cash App if you can give me one story where Satan killed nobody. You can't. So with that being said, Satan's not. The devil made me like. Come on now.
Yeah.
The only thing that Satan did was he spoke up for equal rights. I mean, he had a point. He told Eve like, eat the fruit. It's good. Like, what's the problem? That's all he did, and she chose to do it. He didn't make her do it, did he?
I mean, I will tell you this is like some of my even as a Christian, some of my favorite rap music over the years is that devil shit, man.
So I don't want to say I'm a Satanist, but I just don't think Satan's a bad guy.
No, I think it's creative when people say like ungodly and devil this. Like
the devil made me do it. Like,
from like atmosphere, God loves ugly.
Y'all do know that Hitler, when he
Boys,
killed those millions of Jews, he had the okay from the church, from the Pope. He prayed, the Pope, and then the Vatican, the Catholics backed him doing mass murder.
I gotta look that up, man.
That's insane to me. No, he had the blessings, or I forgot what it's called, but all the world leaders, they go to churches before they go to one. People know that, and they get blessings from the Vatican and shit like that. Like, come on now. So he say, okay, if y'all don't know this, Hitler killed all them Jews for Jesus. Let's just get that straight. You know what I mean? And let's make a lot of Christians mad, and that's fine because I love it. I want y'all in my inbox. And it's true. So with that being said, I'm not a Satanist, but I like him. He's cool. So
shout out to you, Satan.
Yeah, that's your answer. Until
right now on screen, I gotta put the devil from South Park.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't sacrifice chickens. I'm not a fucking creep. I don't want to fuck animals in the ass. I don't believe in famine and weird shit. I don't want to kill nobody. I just don't feel he's as bad as the Bible portrays.
That is funny as shit. We started talking about Satan, and my sunglasses broke. I'm like.
Tell you, look, he ready to go. Look at the time.
That was fucking interesting.
That's almost 4, yeah. Okay.
All right. Vanessa Del Rio, you did a dedication thing to her, and like y'all do have a similar vibe, similar body type, man. I don't know where she is now, but like, tell me about like your love for Vanessa Del Rio.
So for her, government name is Vanessa.
Okay.
And out of nowhere, people kept telling me, like, you remind me of the modern day Vanessa Del Rio. I had no idea who I act like I did. I was, oh, thank you. And I Googled her. Excuse me. And I guess she's like an older porn star from the 60s, 70s. I'm not sure her time frame. But I think from looking at her photos, I never seen her movies, but from looking on Google, we do have a similarity. Like the gaudy stripper, Mademoiselle kind of look, like the big hair, the leopard, the red lips. So I feel like I think our, what's that called? I don't know the word I'm looking for. I feel we have a similarities as far as in our how we're like sexual or looked at. Like
I think Vanessa Del Rio really provided
like
white
big hair.
Yeah,
like,
I think she provided white men with their like first fantasy of being with a voluptuous exotic woman. And my mom would always say exotic is like the term that like white people would describe for minorities, but like no, it's this fantasy of being with a larger Amazon style woman.
Yeah. So I think our style is the same, but that's only similarity.
All right, Ruby, it's time for some segments. Let's go down in the DM. What is the craziest, funniest, most out of pocket DM or email you've ever received?
Like insulting or like,
what? Oh my God! What?
I think the most I have a million, but one that stuck out to me when I used to care and go back and forth. There's one man. He asked from OnlyFans, and I sent him my link. And when he saw the price, it pissed him off. And he said, "Why would I pay you that when I can go to the zoo and look at a whale for free?"
Asshole.
And fat shaming. I thought it was funny. I was just laughing, because back then I used to get mad and go back, "Oh, fuck you and your mom."
Fuck you bitch.
Now I'm like, all right, motherfucker. I just laugh at the comments because I get trolled all the time.
Yeah.
I done heard every fat joke, big joke. Whatever joke you done heard of. So but I think like the most outrageous one is fat shaming for sure. I got all the fat shaming jokes in the world.
Yeah, I feel you. Like somebody will be like DMing you and like, hey, beautiful, blah blah blah.
Oh, my
blah.
queen.
Yeah, and
$50. Fuck you fat bitch. You're gonna smoke crack, suck my dick, bitch. Exactly. I'm gonna fuck your mom. I'm thinking like, damn, bro, chill. It's all right.
No, exactly.
It's gonna be all right.
Okay, Ruby, let's do ever too much. Has anything in a scene ever been just too much? Like, ow, stop, cut the camera, ow,
woo-wee. So, I shot with a lot of people. But Don Prince, my friend. This nigga can make you start your menstrual cycle. This nigga knocked my shit off a bow. What's kind of fucked up about him is he'll tell you to give him a safe word. He don't listen. And there's a couple times we had it's like a small porn pep talk you have. The safe word, what you do, you don't. And there's a couple times I forgot my safe word. This motherfucker will not listen. It's like he like it. He'll go harder. So yeah, too much is Don Prince. Any of you out there, girls, Don Prince, I hope y'all can take some dick. Because he got plenty of it. For sure.
Shout out to Don Prince, man.
Yeah, that's my friend. Hey, Poppy.
The brother, ask my brother. The brother has shot with basically almost every guest I've had.
Yeah, Don Prince is like, to me, he's like the modern Mr. Marcus. Like, bitches, like, when Don Prince coming through, like, I think he's right under Richard Man. I haven't shot Richard Man because I'm scared of him.
If she's a BBW and she's been on BBW Highway, you didn't shot with Don Prince. It's that simple.
Let me tell you something. If you ain't had Don Prince, but you ain't had dick, I'm just going to put it like that. Because, god damn.
Yeah. Yeah, see, and when you were talking to Kwame Conversations, you said you prefer average dicks.
I do but
like Don Prince, would you describe his dick as a big one?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. I feel
like I'm Adam 22 talking about dicks now.
They really say the women's cervix is supposed to take 4 to 5 inches.
Yeah.
To me, the average, I measure my hands. One hand from 2 hands, 3 hands. So the one hand,
I love that totem pole thing you do.
I feel like 2 hands. Yeah. So I thought the 2 hand special was cool for me. Yeah. But if I put 2 hands, and you still got meat hanging off them 2 hands. I know I'm in trouble.
Or as my girl Coco the Goat would say, the guac guac, the guac 4000.
So if you can do a 2 fist and he still got the head and meat sticking out from the top, bitch, you in trouble. Like, come on now, like 1 hand is kind of cool to make him feel a bit. If you got 2 hands and it's still meat when you done, girl.
Well, it's time for our segment, Skin Deep. I can't really tell Ruby what is my favorite tattoo on you, but like, what is your favorite tattoo on you? Because I'm so undecided.
For being Dr. Phil, my children, I have my children on me. But as far as like how it looks and just, you know, I feel like what makes me and my body, I would have to say my stomach tattoos. So can I see?
Yeah, we'll show a picture. But
Okay. So right here, the all-seeing eye and the beautiful. Because I feel like that's a segment of what everyone looks at is right here.
the
So
center.
the center of attention right here.
What's the BMW one about?
When I was younger, I was in my prostitution days, it was my first foreign.
Okay.
So it was my first BMW. I thought it was so cool. I was like 22, 23, I think. And that was my first foreign. Actually, my friend helped me get this, who passed away. And so it's very, very sentimental to me. So it was my first foreign.
Okay, I feel you. All right, what about our segment, The Erector's Chair? If you were directing a scene, what would you do?
Boy, girl? I don't know.
Boy, girl, anything.
I think from what I learned from doing porn, I feel like there is no direction. You kind of just, I think I would do what I've been told, and that's I give them like a quick little rundown, like for them. But it's not like football with every single play. I'm like, hey, like, we're gonna start off with sensual touch. You gotta start off with a little oral blowjob, and then we're gonna finish with a cream pie from the back. I'll keep it short and vague, and they can kind of fill in the blanks. I feel like if you give like too much of a script, then people get nervous and fuck up.
Okay, cool. All right. We are going to get into some Instagram questions.
Oh, shit. It's probably that same guy, like, fat whore. Besides your mom's bra.
All right, let's see this right here. Okay. Good Protector, Last Dragon, 3311 wants to know, will you be shooting for more companies soon?
I don't think so, friend. I'm kind of on the verge of retirement, and if I were to shoot again, I would shoot for Plumper Pass or BBW Highway for sure. That's my top.
No doubt.
Foods.
Yeah. Do more with Plumper Pass, man. Shout out to Clint. I feel like that's excellent exposure. So, one of my go-to porn sites. Go-to porn companies for sure. Okay. Shout out to Jeff's Models too. Are you ever going to shoot with Jeff's Models?
It's weird. I don't know if he doesn't like me or what it is, or maybe I wasn't as cool back then, but I inboxed him throughout the years, and he always says, yeah. And then it never happens, and then COVID happened. But then I always see him shoot other models. But I feel like there's a lot of models that feel that way. They reach out to companies and then shoot other people. So
Jay.
I try not to take it personal.
Jay.
But what's wrong with me, friend?
J. Crew, talking to you. What are you doing? J. Crew, get down with its thickness.
He should have been
Jay.
Here.
Jay. Shout out to my man J. Crew. Great man. Great man. Legendary man. Love J. Crew. Okay. Matthew McKinley, the crown prince of all protectors, wants to know, favorite thing about being in the adult industry?
Favorite thing? Excuse me. I think my favorite thing is being noticed, appreciated, and glorified for my sexuality, when for so many years I was, what's the word? I think it feels good to be appreciated and loved, and me be able to be free in my sexuality, when for so many years I was ashamed or down talked about it. It was a bad thing to be sexual or like a boy or flirt or like, I feel like just the appreciation of me being me and sexual. Like I just feel the appreciation of my sexuality is my favorite part.
I love that. Yeah. That's great. I'm so happy to hear that. It's quotable. Okay. And last but not least, Keflon Don, great member of the Palm Tree. Everybody, if you need a studio engineer or a dope music producer out of Pomona, California, hit up my boy at the real Keflon Don. Sugar free pimp from Pomona, you already know.
Yeah.
All right,
I play music every day.
But Keflon Don wants to know, what's her vibe? What is your vibe like in the studio? And hit him up if you ever need an engineer.
Studio, like I feel like what's a thug, baby? Like I smoke, I drink, I'm lit. Like I'm one of the guys. I guess you can say that. Yeah,
you are a vibe. Like I could see, you're just fun to be around.
Thank you.
You keep it real. You have stories. You're relatable, and it's like you're very just you. Like
I got tough skin. Like and there's nothing a person could say to make me frown right now. You know what I mean?
There you go.
I think my only sensitive topic is parenting. But outside of that, like there's nothing you can really say to break me.
All right. Then run me that money. Break you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's kick a little beat so you can freestyle.
Oh, God. Hope you got a good one. I got to feel it and catch it.
Let's see what. Let's play this one. I've played this on the pod before.
That's like sugar free, okay? Or to give you my bitch.
Hey.
Okay.
Ruby Monroe,
my
TPP.
TTP.
TPP. It's Ruby Monroe, TPP. You wanna fuck with me? Hey.
Let me hear one more so I can go back and forth. Hold on. I gotta catch a couple.
Okay. It's that Blueface type beat. Okay.
Yeah, because if I hop on, I gotta feel it. Or
It's a
I'm gonna be-
TPP
I'll be
exclusive.
stuttering like a stupid.
DJ F word. Real BBW shit. I lied when I said I'd have beats ready for you. All right, come on. Bust down, Ruby Monroe. I want to see you bust down.
Okay. Ruby motherfucking Row, you dig me? Triple X, 666, aka ooh look that's her, aka what size is
Triple
him?
X, 666.
Oh, okay. TTP. I'm gonna gas these hoes one time. Okay.
T P P.
Cool. Check 1, 1, 2, 3. I'm on the podcast, yeah, with TPP. You know what's up, bitch? I know you hired me. Yeah, you see me in the movies. Yeah, you seen my scenes. I'm a porn star. Yeah, bitch, real nasty. Bitch is really mad cause they niggas wanna add me. Nigga wanna book me. She got a problem. Yeah, I do, but wait. Whoa, wow, 1, 2, 3, 4. First name Ruby, last name Monroe. Bitch, how you hired, bitch? What it go for? 1,500, yeah, I need all four. 1,500, yeah, he brought me all 50s. Nitty freaking nigga, is you fucking like Diddy? You know what's up, yeah, it's down to the gritty. You don't count my sign, you wanna see these titties. Fuck the questions, get down to nitty gritty. You don't care about my sign, you just wanna see these titties. Is you freaking nigga like Diddy? Nigga came through, little bitch, she hella pretty. Like, oh shit, yeah, she from Stockton. Yeah, you know what's up, 219, we rockin'. The rich was really mad when he came to the room. Nasty little bitch, ain't no fruit in the room. No draws, bareback, you know what's up, what's up. The nigga came through, poured in my cup. We got the Douce, yeah, we got the drink. Nigga 21 on her, what the fuck you think? She really mad cause the baby daddy slid through. He gave me bloods, I don't fuck what you been through. You got a problem, yeah, bitch, you spitting all blues. You know what's up, hold on, bitch, you better check the news. Cause I'm the nastiest bitch. Yeah, bitch, I'm the best one. Hold on, you get the money, you better get some. Why stop on me like that? Damn.
Yeah, a little quickie of a beat, okay. All right, Ruby Monroe, I see you.
Yeah, friend.
All right.
Best friend.
Best friend. All right, girl, anything else you want to plug here on Thickness Protection Program? Anybody you want to shout out or thank?
Yeah, I'd like to, for sure, shout out and thank the whole porn community. You know what I mean? I feel like
All the protectors.
All the protectors. You know, shout out you for sure for having me here, friends. It's been a long time coming. Shout out to everybody in the porn community, whether it's big or small, tall or low. I feel like, you know, we all, I wouldn't say we the outcasts, but, you know, we the outcasts. You know what I mean? I feel like everybody look at us and want to be us, but they don't know how to say it. So, and if you're in the industry, I appreciate you. I love all the work you put in. If you're not in the industry and you want to get into it, fuck the world stigmas on religion or parenting or whatever's holding you back. Be you, be freaky, and have fun. As long as you ain't hurting nobody, you know. And shout out to BBW Highway because it was my first scene. Ken, Pumper Pass, and Julia Jugs, Trizzy, Thor Johnson, all my friends in between, Chanel Barbie, you know what I'm saying?
Chanel Barbie, hey,
Chanel
shout out Julia Jugs too.
Yeah, Julia, that's friend. Shout out Zeus. Yeah. I'm about to be on a Roly Poly show when it drops. I filmed that in October. So shout out to everybody, you know what I mean, in the industry and outside the industry. If you in or out, like, just be you. And if you want to get into it, you know what I mean, I wouldn't say that this is the first round pick, but if it's a second round pick, like, be the best at it. Make sure you have good lighting, good quality, and good people that you enjoy to be around. And yeah, that's it. Oh, well, and go subscribe to my OnlyFans.
There you have it. You got music dropping on the way?
No, that was my only song, friend. I'm more of like a freestyler like I was doing right now. You know what I mean? I'm more of a freestyler. But I do got one song called Oh Look That's Her, and it's on YouTube. I dropped it about a year ago. So yeah.
That Hoochie Mama freestyle you did in the car was dope.
Yeah.
For sure. All right. Well, everybody, thank you for tuning into the Thickness Protection Program. Make sure you are following on X and TikTok. That's at ThiccnessPro, 2 C's. And make sure you're following on Instagram. That's at the Thickness Protection Program. You want to like the video. You want to comment who you want to see on the podcast in the future. And turn on your notification bell. Peace, love, palm. We want thickness. Hey, Ruby, let them know we want thickness. We want thickness. We want thickness. We want thickness. We want thickness.
We want it. We crave it. We need it.
We
like,
want
I'm
thickness.
playing, like fast, not slow.
Shoot us out the gym, LaRon.